The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Thanks everybody for joining us. If you haven't already, go ahead and throw in the chat message where you're joining us from, the city and state. We'd love to see all of the places around the country that people are joining in from, and maybe even some places around the world. We have people from all around the world that are tuning in to gain more health and hope tonight. That's what our focus is on tonight's Transformation Stories, is to share with you some very simple strategies that you can begin to implement into your life to incorporate the habits of health. And we have a great surprise. We have Dr. Wayne Andersen is going to be with us tonight. He's going to be sharing some principles from his New York Times best-selling book, Discover Your Optimal Health. And he's also going to be talking about some transformational implements that you can actually incorporate into your life to create optimal health and well-being using the OPTAVIA system and his great educational resources. So thanks everybody for joining us. And we're excited that you tuned in tonight. I tuned into this about 10 years ago, and my life was transformed. As you can see from the screen, I was able to transform my physical health. I was able to transform my mental health by getting back into the game of life. I ended up losing 100 pounds with the help of Dr. Andersen and his OPTAVIA system and the help of a health coach. And after going through that transformational process, I felt inspired to give health and hope and help to other people. And I've had a chance to impact the lives of many other people. And it's my honor and privilege to be able to invite all of you to gain health and hope in your night. In your life. And I don't know where you're joining in from us tonight, whether you're at a place where you're already in progress with your health. Maybe you have already had a transformation, and congratulations if you've already reached your goal weight and you're optimizing your health. But maybe you're in a position where you've just started your journey and you're feeling a little bit excited, but you're also a little fearful, and you're not really sure whether or not you can do this or whether you can't do it. And I'm confident after tonight, you're going to be filled with hope and inspiration, and you're going to believe more in what it is that you're about to take on, because what Dr. Andersen is going to share with you is something that's proven, science-based. He's the 10th physician board certified in critical care. He's actually the valedictorian of his medical class and has spent 20 years in his medical practice working in the area of helping people to survive and to get away from infectious diseases, or to be in a position where they were on their life-threatening positions, where they were at a point where they were almost at a point of death. And he was able to save a lot of people's lives. But after spending 2 decades in his practice and decades of education, he decided to leave all of that and to begin to pioneer the specialty of health and lifestyle coaching. Tonight, we get a chance to hear from him and hear exactly what he's done to be able to inspire other people. Dr. Andersen, welcome to our Health and Hope webinar tonight.
Thanks, David, and it's great to be here, and it's great seeing all the people. We have almost 3,000 people on tonight, and that's a great start. You know, the world has got some real issues right now, and a lot of it starts with emotional instability. We just aren't doing well in our society, and people are gaining weight. They're not healthy. They don't feel like life is handing the same quality, and so we've spent almost 2 decades, David, working on that. And I look at all the amazing coaches that are going to be sharing tonight, and I look how their lives, including yours, have been transformed. And so what we're doing really matters. And so hopefully the people on tonight will have an opportunity to maybe think a little bigger and know that it's possible to change their health and change their life.
You bet. Well, would you mind just giving us a little bit of background and what got you to the point of creating this vehicle called OPTAVIA, and give us a little bit of the background of the transformational tools that OPTAVIA provides?
Yeah, so, you know, as you mentioned, I helped pioneer the specialty of critical care. I worked in an intensive care unit. I trained at Jackson Memorial in Miami in one of the top programs. It's one of the first guys to do that specialty. I also trained in open hearts at Cleveland Clinic, and all that prepared me to take care of sick people. And what I realized over time, is that we're putting Band-Aids and treating symptoms and treating people that have gone too far downstream. And we needed to move upstream and make a difference. So as you mentioned, in the early 2000s, I decided to leave, and it was a crazy, wild, hairy, audacious goal, so to speak, as Jim Collins would say, but sought out to help people get healthy. And what I realized that there really weren't very many tools. Diets didn't work. 85% of people that went on a diet gained their weight back within 2 years. And as you can see on the statistics here, almost 70% of people are either overweight or obese. And we know that puts them in position, especially as they get older, to develop disease. And so what I looked at what was necessary, and I really found it required changing the underlying structure. It required helping them build healthy habits. It required having a guide or someone to help them. And it required a community, a place where they could feel safe. And then the last part is the blueprint. As you can see, the 4 components, the habits of health, as you mentioned, is a system I've created and evolved. And now it's moved into it's a developmental training system to help people create optimal health and well-being. And when it's put together with a coach, the community, and the other components, including our fuelings, it puts people in position to now have a system that allows them to transform. And so it allows lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And as I continue to evolve that, it's now become a comprehensive approach where we know that if people raise their hand and want to get healthy, we can help them, David.
That's great. Well, I know that there's a lot of people tonight. We almost have 3,200 people, and the number keeps rising that are actual people that are on live. But I know that there's some people that actually have events where they have multiple people in a room that are doing kind of a health and hope party. And so what I'd love to challenge everybody to do is that if you are attending by yourself, you can put in a 1 in the chat. If you have your spouse with you or 1 or 2 people, put the number of people that are in the room in the chat message. We would love to see how many people are surrounding you, just so that we have a total number of attendance. And so if you get a chance to count everybody in your room and put it in the chat feature, we'd sure love to do that. But while everybody's doing that, Dr. A, I'd love for you to just talk a little bit more about why you decided to pursue this idea of health coaching, or providing coaching experiences to help people to go from where they were to wherever they wanted to go, and what made you decide to give up your medical career to go do that?
Well, first of all, I want to make a little correction. I didn't give up my medical career. I focused on moving medicine to the third air rather than using medicines. You know, we're 5% of the world's population here in the United States, and we consume 50% of the pharmaceuticals. I just saw a startling figure today that basically pharmaceutical sales will go up to $1.5 trillion by 2023. So we're putting Band-Aids on people, and I realized that I was reacting to disease. And what I really want to do is help people get healthy. And so when I looked at that, it requires support. It is very hard to go it alone. And if we can put people together and have a coach to help guide them and have a system. So, you know, the Habits Health system, which we're going to talk about in a moment, is a comprehensive blueprint to help people start in little baby steps. You know, can you eat every 3 hours? And can you use one of the fuelings to start putting yourself in better position to let your body now move to get rid of your excess weight? And then from there, moving forward, in that teachable moment, we help people change all the aspects of their life for the better. So we put them in great position, and we allow them to write their new story. You know, what we know in life is that what got us here is basically the experience of, you know, how we grew up, our mentors, the people we hung out with, our parents, you know, the environment we're in, and all those things got us to where we are now. And if you're on the call tonight and you're looking for a place to create better health and well-being, that's what we do. We start here. Remember, your future is not dependent on your past. And what we do is we help write a new chapter and then a new story where people can now in baby steps move forward with the help of a coach, our community, our fuelings, and the Habits of Health as a transformational system to move people into position. And, you know, I love it. Every day I get, I'm so grateful. I get texts, emails, real snail mail. People, thank you for giving me back my life. And I have to tell you, it's rewarding, because in medicine, I never helped anybody, traditional medicine, I never helped anybody get healthy. I just kept them from dying. And now we're helping people, families come together, radiant health, healthier minds, people out doing stuff they didn't do before, traveling, having a ball. And all of it is about making the decision to become aware and then move forward. And, you know, basically, if you look at this picture here, this is a young lady that basically, look at the transformation and just look, I want you to look not just at the physical transformation, because lots of people have before and after, but look at the radiance coming out of her, and you get a chance to hear her now. Janelle?
Thanks, Dr. A. Thank you for the compliment. I feel so good from the inside, and I'm so thankful for our OPTAVIA community. And I have to tell you, the health coaching component, having a health coach was a game changer for me. I cannot tell you what a huge gift and strength it was to be given a health coach. And my health coach happens to be hosting this tonight, so I'm so thankful for Dave Bush. But I'll tell you, having someone who I knew was going to call me every week and was going to say, hey, Janelle, how did this week go? That was a huge, huge thing for me. And it's having a health coach, you have someone who's going to help you identify your why. Why do you want to get healthy? We don't jump straight to the what and the how. It's why. What are your dreams, your visions? What's important to you? And to have someone who asks those big questions and who holds me accountable to those things and also helps me to know the steps that it's going to take to get there. I'm not a big goal setter, so to have someone challenge me to set achievable goals and to really walk the steps out and to know, Janelle, if you do this, this, and this, you're going to achieve your goal. And that was huge for me because I usually would just have objectives out there in the great unknown, out yonder. Maybe I'll get there, maybe I won't. But to have someone helping me with that and then to walk with me every day and to call me up higher. Something that was really awesome with my health coach is that he helped me to see that our health coaching program is so much more than just about weight loss. That was what brought me into OPTAVIA, but it was so much more than that. And I needed him to help me with that. So the health coaching component has been, it's been huge. It's also made it really fun because I have a really fun health coach that he's not always like so serious and making sure that I'm eating this and doing this. It's very fun. It's very relational. And he's helped to connect me with other people in our community to really support me as well. So I love that part of our community.
Yeah, and Janelle, you know, as a fellow human, what's cool about it now, you're paying it forward and you're helping others. And what's neat about it, it's not like an up, one down where he's telling you what to do. He's sitting there supporting you, putting you in position so you can learn it for yourself. You know, I like to use the analogy of driving a car. You know, even though you'd love to, and you've drove your kids around for 14 years, until you get put them in the driver's seat. And I know it's like, you know, but the point is, they have to actually drive the car. And for people to take control and really have optimal health and well-being, they have to be in charge. We're there to guide them, put them in position, have fun with them, use the style that works for them, and make it so comfortable that you love reaching out to David. So that's what it's about. And now you've learned that yourself and you're using the system. The great thing is, you know, what is your background?
I am a photographer and have been in ministry, and always my life has been about helping others. So I love that.
But you never studied medicine. You never studied any of those things. But what you studied was people, right? And you know, what's cool about that, we have the system, which we're going to talk about now, that I as a physician created. But it's there where you're the guide. You're the one that helps the individual first, take them by the hand, show them kind of what you did, and now help them help themselves. So love it. Love to see how just how you've transformed, and now all you're paying it forward and helping so many others. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, listen,
talk to us a little bit about the transformational system, and if anything that you could share about the new transformational system that you're just rewriting, I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah. So, you know, so what we noticed, I wrote the book 10 years ago, and it's been a great standard to help people transform their lives. And we've used it quite a bit, but it was a book and it was knowledge. What I realized that we needed more. We needed all the interactive tools. We needed an app. We needed to have a life book, and the life book is now the core. And then we needed a guide for the coaches to kind of go along as the client is writing their new story. And so now all the stuff works together. It's really interactive. It's really it's a course for development of you creating health and well-being. And it takes about a year as far as the life book, but you start off in baby steps. You go at your own pace. The year I'm talking about is for full, absolute transformation, predictable transformation. And after a year of doing these little baby things, like working, as Janelle said, with you, David, she's been able to change those things. And so we're making it easier. It's getting much easier. It's got a lot more tools involved in it. And it's putting us in position where now it tracks and you get to go at your own pace. We autonomy support, which we mean by that is we find out what you want, and then we basically move you forward. And, you know, this next individual, she's a little nervous being on tonight, but she's got an amazing story. Just look at the transformation, and everybody embrace Janice, because she's got a great story, and she's used the habits of health to transform her life and now helping others. Hey, Janice.
Hi, Dr. Ray. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. And, you know, it's so funny, that predictable transformation, exactly what Dr. Ray just said. It really, I am a completely different person. That person on the left is a picture of me. I was the director of a nursery school, 200 children and 25 teachers. And I had just walked in a St. Patrick's Day parade, obviously. And I was absolutely exhausted, didn't even know how I was going to get through the parade. And then on the right is me in Ireland, walking with my children. So for me, what happened was I was looking at a double knee replacement, and the doctors were telling me that I definitely needed to do it. So I went on plan to actually lose 20 pounds, not even realizing I needed to lose 65 pounds. And after I lost the weight, I literally felt like I got my life back. I loved the program. I loved everything about it. And like I said, when I got back from Ireland with my kids, I just was a completely different person. And I said to my coach, the beautiful Corinne Potter, could you please help me? I want to help some people. And I was busy. I was a very busy person. I was I have 5 children. I was a director of a nursery school, just a very, very busy life. So I thought, you know, how am I going to be able to do this? I'll just do a few people here and there. And I did. And I absolutely loved it. And teaching is something that's ingrained in me. It's something I will always love. But for one reason or another, I wound up leaving the nursery school, not by choice, but I wound up my plan A became, my plan B became plan A, and I wound up doing this full time. And with Corinne's help, and I got to tell you, I was a little nervous at first, because as a teacher, you have camaraderie of the teachers, and I loved that. And but Corinne showed me that this was a huge community, and I absolutely embraced it and walked with Corinne. Everything was set up for me. It was so easy for me to do. And what I wound up getting so much from my clients and my coaches, much more than I give to them. And it is the same thing as teaching in my mind, because I'm teaching coaches, and I'm teaching habits of health, which I can't believe that I am the one teaching this, but I learned so much in the year of losing weight and following Dr. A's book and anything that I could read or get on. And I still continue today to still grow and learn. And I'm so inspired by all of the coaches that I work with every day. Dr. A, my clients inspire me, just listening to them and their stories. And it's such a wonderful feeling. I can't even describe that feeling of helping somebody and knowing that you're changing their life. And my life has truly changed, and it's for the better, for my children's sake, for my sake, and I'm dreaming about what my future is going to be. And I know it's going to be a long, happy life with this company. I absolutely love it, everything about it. And I'm so excited about the new book coming out and everything that I can offer my clients and my family. And I just want to say that I'm living now, and I'm not just existing. And that's it. Thank you so much for having me.
Got to take yourself off of mute, Dr. A.
Sorry, I was trying to. As a teacher, you know, you're really good at helping people, but, you know, Janelle was a photographer. It doesn't really matter, because we all work together. And like you said, we're a community. And so you had a great coach to help you learn how to first do it for yourself and then help others. And now using the Habit Cell system, you have a blueprint to be able to go step by step, and everybody can do it. And the cool part you mentioned, which leads us to the next component, is our community. Our community makes it all happen, right? It puts us together to be in position where we can help those around us, our family, our friends, our neighbors, people like, you know, that in PTA. It doesn't really matter where you are, all around it. People are looking, they're really hurting physically, mentally, and many of them, even as we talked about, thinking about this tonight as being a place where, as you get healthier, you might even decide And I would highly suggest you think about joining us, because when you start helping people, and it helps you get healthier, as well as put you in position to help others. So as you can see, our OPTAVIA community is great. We have what we call our virtual clinic, where you have access from the comfort of your home to all these great things, including our support calls, calls like the Zoom we're doing tonight. On Wednesday night, we have a Habits of Health video call, as well as nutritional support. And tonight, Pete's going to talk about, I mean, you look at that, you know, I won't say anything about being a Steeler fan, but bottom line is I don't think they're in the Super Bowl, Pete, but that's okay. They had a pretty good year, buddy. So, hey, come on and talk about how this community's changed you and how you're using it to help your clients and your coaches change their lives too.
Well, thank you, Dr. A and David. I guess there's always next year for the Steelers. We'll see how that works out. But, well, I just appreciate the opportunity to come on here and share a little bit. A couple years ago, 2 years now, I'm a school counselor, a middle school counselor. I've been serving in the schools for 15 years. And my wife and I are very active in our local church as well. And so community is a big part of us. And what really brought me to OPTAVIA was, as I was pouring into other people, I was not taking care of myself. And I got to a breaking point where I wasn't able to do what my passion was, and that was to love other people and to pour into other people in my job and in my community, that I needed something. I needed something different. And so came across a friend who was coaching and reached out to him, and we connected and stepped into program. And over the course of a school year, lost 95 pounds and transformed in front of my kids. I also coach football and track, so I got to talk with them and show them different things as we were going through the school year and as I was learning and growing. And so originally stepped in as a coach to help a couple family members. And what I have seen with the community aspect of this has been phenomenal. You know, like I said, community is a big part of our lives as a family, and we're very involved and connected there. And so when I stepped in as a coach and as a client, the support, the encouragement from everybody within the community was so inspiring and so helpful. You know, we all have down days. We all have days where we're struggling, and when we're doubting ourselves, when we're doubting life, lots of different things. And community is so important. I believe wholeheartely that we're wired for relationships. And that's what I really appreciate about this, Dr. Andersen, from a counseling standpoint. You really look at the heart of things, and that's why this works, because we are made for relationship, and we need each other. You know, and I think society really pushes out that, you know, you need to be kind of this lone ranger and this guy that has everything figured out and on your own, but that's not reality. And so it's been great plugging into our community, and I've made some great friendships over the course of this last year. And the cool thing has been, as I've stepped in as a coach and helped other people, not only has my life transformed, but I've been able to now pour back into my community in my job as a counselor, as a coach, as a youth worker, as a volunteer with our church, and the health ripple that started even in our local community because I said yes, has been, it's still, I get overwhelmed thinking about it, and I'm kind of an emotional guy, so I'm going to hold it together. But, you know, I've watched family transform over the course of the last year. I've watched good, close friends transform. I've watched coworkers and community members transform because they've connected to this powerful community, and they've been able to receive the support and the encouragement from this community. And so I'm so blessed to be a part of this. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to serve and to serve out and live the passion that I have to help other people and to pour into other people now on a completely different platform than I would have ever imagined before. So thank you.
Well, Pete, yeah, you're welcome, Pete. And I have to tell you that just listening to you, I think back about 10,000 years ago when we were so dependent on each other, you know, for our survival. And we've kind of lost our way, to your point, with technology, and we think we have to be independent, especially as guys, be tough. And when I see your heart and your mind in congruence there, as you kind of, you know, get a little emotional, that's what this is all about. It's about people saying, you know what, I have a place where people actually care about me. It's a safe place to come and learn and grow, and to get to the point where now our thoughts and our feelings and our actions can all be contiguous about the things that really matter, to your point, to your family, to your community. And we feel very strongly about that. And our values bring us together. You know, beliefs separate people. And that certainly is a major issue now in the world. And values bring people together. And that's what we're about. We know that organizing our life around what matters most to us, what matters most in terms of our family, taking care to have a place to be there, to be able to support and love on our family. All those things are so critical. And that's the community we've created. It's different for every individual. So it's what we call like an anti-cult. But in the same time, it's a like-minded bunch of people that come together in an area where they feel connected, they feel supported. And there's the knowledge, there's basically the doing going on, and then the becoming. And it's becoming everything that's important to you. So you're now the dominant force in your life. So Pete, it's great having you. I can sense and feel your heart. And I'm glad you're with us, buddy.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. I have a dark screen now.
So Dr. A, talk to us a little bit about the fueling models and about learning how to eat 6 times a day, because obviously there's a lot of people out there that are thinking about eating 6 times a day. It's a little overwhelming, but with this great tool called OPTAVIA Fuelings, they can make healthy eating simple. Talk through a little bit about the science behind using the fuelings and eating 6 times a day.
Yeah, well, eating every 3 hours, you know, we were hunters. I mean, I'll keep going back to 10,000 years ago, because if you look at our genetics, it's changed less than 0.005% over the last 10,000 years. So how we got here, whatever your beliefs are, whatever important to you, the reality is that life, as far as the way we were designed, hasn't changed much over the last 10,000 years. Now, if we look at the way life's changed in terms of where we live on a very different planet. One where energy dense food, 10,000 years ago, food was basically energy sparse and nutrient dense. It had lots of good stuff in it, but didn't have a lot of calories. So you had to work all day long and kind of graze. And we did that. And, as we were kind of nomadic, so it meant we kind of went along. And when you found a berry bush, man, you'd eat them all because you didn't get the calories that much. So you were out there grazing. And so we developed 40 billion fat cells. So our body is designed to store energy. And now I can tell you, when you used to go out 10,000 years ago to go out on a hunt, you didn't know if you're going to get much food or not. Now I guarantee when you go to your refrigerator, you have a 100% chance of bagging food. So what we've done and looked at is how do we adapt to an environment that now doesn't serve us well? And the fuelings are the perfect solution. The fuelings, people go, well, do I have to eat these the rest of your life? No. We're using them to start putting your body in a different state, to eliminate the extra fat you have. And then as you lose that fat, we're teaching you, as you're feeling better, have more energy, we teach you now to substitute. So when you go to the grocery store, you pick low glycemic and you pick things that don't raise your blood sugar. You stay away from processed food. You basically know the portion control. And we have a plate that we've developed that makes it very easy. And now that plate has been adapted since I first designed and wrote about it. It's now being used by the USDA. In fact, the food pyramid's gone, and they're using our plate system called My Plate. So we're staying ahead of the curve because we know that, we need to eat healthier, but it's really hard. So, if you were going to the desert, right, you would check and make sure that your car was full when you started. And as you're on your trip, you'd make sure there were gas stations and you would stop at them because you don't want to get lost and stranded in the desert. Well, we live in a food desert where food around us is all energy dense, poor quality, nutritionally poor, very little nutrition, and full of calories. And so what the fuelings do allow us to function now during the day, now putting us into a fat burning state. So we get rid of our fat. At the same time, we're regimenting into a new habit, and then we're learning how to pick healthy choices, snacks and things. So by the time we reach our healthy weight, you've learned the healthy eating system that I designed, and you're able to go to anywhere, whether it's a grocery store, to a party, to a Thanksgiving dinner, and you now know what's necessary to enjoy food, have a great selection, but actually have these things that have put you in position to be there. So the fuelings protect us and give us basically a fueling source throughout the day when we're out and about. I travel a lot, and when I'm traveling, I'm on planes, they want to give me the Oreos and the SnackWells and all this stuff that just has no nutrition, full of high fructose corn syrup. And I say, no, thank you. I'll take some water. And then I take one of my fuelings and I'm taken care of. And I know, Valerie, you've used, look at the dramatic picture here of Valerie. And I'd love to have you talk a little bit how the fuelings have made it easier for you first to reach a healthy weight, and then basically how they fill into your day to make it convenient for you.
Yes, well, hello there. Thank you, Dr. A, for having me on. And David, I'm thrilled to be here. And yeah, they have really made a difference in my life. I'm a respiratory therapist. And so when I entered this program, I had 50 pounds to get off of me. I was I'm on my feet a lot when I work. And, you know, what I thought was going to be challenging for me was to do the every 2 to 3 hours of eating, because when I'm working, it's not always easy to break away from patients and go have my fuelings. And so, but my health coach was able to help me work through that. I was working 2 jobs, night shift, 12-hour shifts. And what she helped me to do is just focus on, you know, trying to get the every 3 hours in. And even on some nights where, if to make it easier for myself, I would have, you know, shake nights or something like that, where even between patients, I could just have a fueling. They're very easy. They're on the go, grab and go type of things, so that I can keep my body fueled and have all the energy that I need to do the work that I was doing. I had, you know, almost every obstacle against me to be successful at this program. And like I said, I had 50 pounds to lose at first, and now I'm past that 50 pounds. I've been able to lose it all and headed towards my healthy BMI. So I'm excited about that. And what I didn't have to worry about with the fuelings is that they're all nutrient equal. So my body was getting the nutrients that it needed throughout the day. Another challenge I have is that I wear aligners in my teeth. And so trying to eat every 2 to 3 hours and take my aligners out, you know, I just had pretty much every challenge that you can think of to being successful at this program. And the fuelings just make it simple. What I learned to, instead of make them be an obstacle for me to succeed, I embraced it as something that I can make simple for myself. So yeah, and also I enjoy the flavors of home as well, which is lean and green, and it also helps to make sure that everything is nutrients balanced and all that. It's easy to travel with. I can pack my fuelings in my suitcase, and anywhere that I go, I know that I have what I need to stay on plan. They're quick fix. And even during special occasions, I'm able to, like you said, the plate diagram, I'm able to choose, you know, I've learned to choose what I need to do in order to stay on program. And yeah, and then also I have a son who's autistic, who has started eating the fuelings as well. He tends to choose high carb things, and I wanted him to have something more nutritional value for him too. So he enjoys the fuelings. They're quick for him. They're grab and go for him as well. And yeah, I've been able to keep that 50 pounds off, and I'm excited to see you know, how things are going to go from there. I'm able to share how I'm feeling, and feeling much better having that 50 pounds off. You know, I have more energy, and I've learned, like I said, I've learned to embrace eating the 6 times a day rather than make it be an obstacle. I've learned how to work that into my 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, and actually, Valerie, you keeps your energy levels stable. It keeps you nutritionally balanced. As you said, the nutritional footprint is the same. So it makes it goof-proof, right? And so it makes it so easy that you can focus and have the energy level to do your job and be in great shape and stay in great shape. So it's great to have you on. Congratulations. Pretty excited about that.
Great. Well, Dr. A, we're going to talk now about the Trilogy of Optimal Health. Would you explain a little bit more about why you came to this paradigm as the model for helping America to get healthy and then the world?
Well, yeah, the whole reality is that our mind and our body and how successful we are in terms of how we can provide for our family and doing something. You know, I was at a event tonight, a charitable event, in West Palm. And I was listening to people talk about, you know, the ones that love what they do and then are working out. There was a archdiocese, one of the archbishops from one of the archdioceses that was down, and I was watching the passion of people. I was watching people that are fully, and the people that really love what they do are in love with it. And so we know, and I think you've seen tonight, that we help people create optimal health and well-being. And it's certainly the Habits Health system puts you in great position. But I can tell you that when we're doing something that brings meaning and purpose, and as you heard almost all of these coaches tonight really talk a lot about helping pay it forward. So that's the third part. And what I'm finding is when we bring value to the marketplace, specifically in what we do as coaches, first of all, it helps us be healthier, puts us in better position to have a healthy body, have a healthy mind, and also develop healthy finances. When I talk about finance, I'm not just talking about being able to make money to support your family. I'm doing something that creates abundancy, be able to go on vacations, to travel, to be able to do the things to educate your children. All those things are so critical, and we can thrive and do those things and help others and get ourselves physically healthy and put ourselves in position to be doing something that creates really health for our mind. And what's neat about the Habits of Health transformational system, it's really focusing a lot more on helping people adapt and then learn how to overcome emotional mismanagement. The number one killer in the world today is emotional mismanagement. People are spending so much time in that loop inside their head. We call it in medicine a cognitive emotive loop, where all day long they're worrying and they're never really present. They're either upset about something from the past or worried about something or anxious about something for the future. So we can help people really adapt and get on point with that, be part of the community, use the Stop, Challenge, Choose and the other tools within the Habits Health system, use the fuelings to help improve their brain health. As you get healthy, it helps improve your brain health. And so, you know, I'm going to bring on now a dear friend of mine, somebody that I've worked with for years. You know, she came into the world as a tennis pro with a racket in her hand when she was born. And I've watched her now over the last several years really evolve to the point where she's bringing her husband home. She's basically out helping people. She has a love. She's Italian, has a love for life. And I've watched her transform dramatically. And she's still in progress. But what's happening to her, she's setting a great example. She's helping others, and she's all over it. So Margaret McGrath, come on.
Well, thanks so much, Dr. A. I appreciate your kind words. And Dave, thanks for hosting this. I'm super excited to be here because I'm super excited and passionate about health coaching and really what we're doing with OPTAVIA. My story is a little bit different maybe than everybody else's, but that's the beauty of it. It's, you know, for whoever's looking to really pay something forward. So I came into this really wanted a vehicle to improve my health and not really just lose weight. I was a teaching tennis pro, as Dr. A just expressed, and it was non-negotiable. I wanted to improve my health. And so I was introduced to the program. I was looking for a system where I didn't have to think about it. I'd never really dieted in my life. And I wanted to be doing something that would not only physically help me, but also I was also looking for some meaning and purpose at the time. And I really didn't know it. And I was introduced to this program. And then I was introduced to my health coach, Dr. A and Lori. And I just loved everything that I saw. I loved the 4 components. I loved that I could get myself healthy, but then in the process, I just felt immense pride that I had now had a vehicle where I could go out and help people surround their lives around what really mattered most to them, with their healthy body, with their healthy mind, and with their healthy finances. And so I looked at the whole big picture of it and I thought, wow, this is something that I could really run with. It could impact my life, but I could also go out and help other people do exactly the same thing. And I just had a structure that I could just use and implement and teach people, just guide them, kind of be like a health concierge and just give them the next step, whatever the next step was for them. So it's just been the most gratifying thing with me. I have an amazing number of friends and community of support in OPTAVIA. I love the structured eating plan. It just takes the thought out of it. I don't want to have to think a lot about what I'm eating. The community is amazing. The free support of a health coach. I mean, what else can you say? Where else can you go and have all 4 components. And then for me, one of the most important parts, because I'm so passionate about health and wellness and fitness, that the Habits of Health system, I'm kind of a little geek that way. It's a game changer for me. I love it because no matter who you are or where you are, you just go to the next step that's going to help you improve. And it's more about mindset than it really is about anything else. So my point is, this is a system that will help you continue to grow as big as you really want.
Great. Awesome. Margaret, that's awesome. And I love what's going on out there. David, this has been a great crew tonight. And, we had almost 3,600 people on, plus groups together. I saw some of the groups waving. So, we're talking about changing the world, one healthy habit at a time. And it's available to everybody. So if you're listening tonight, hopefully you're kind of getting on into this cool community of people that want to help each other and want to change the world together. So David, close it up, my friend.
You bet. Hey, we got a couple of people that we've are having health and hope parties, and we're going to have them ask a couple of questions, Dr. A. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely. Robin's
Wonderful.
team. Let's go.
All
Robin's
right, we're going to bring on Robin Merrill and her crew out there. Robin, go ahead and unmute yourself and say hi to everybody.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Love it.
So what question do you have for Dr. A, Robin?
Okay, actually, it's one of our clients. Natasha has a question, and she's right here. So go ahead.
Natasha.
Hey. I'm so excited. Hi, Dr. A. How's it going?
That's going great. Great seeing you guys.
Nice to see you. Thank you for taking my question. I'm new to OPTAVIA. I've only been doing it since December 16th. I have young children and a husband who's a little stubborn, so they're not on board with me yet, but they definitely support me. Weekends are tough for me because they eat whatever they want and I get hangry. Like really, really hangry to the point where I can actually feel my adrenaline going and I don't like myself. How do I get through that?
Yeah, that's great. So stop, challenge, and choose, right? Yeah. Okay, so
tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you. And actually, you can go in after this and look in the book and in the new app, which will be coming out shortly. We have a whole section so that every day you can use that to help you. But what you're experiencing is you're frustrated because your family is so important to you and you love them and you want them to be healthy because you care about them. So that's the love. But the thing is, and when someone's thinking differently, when you get mad, all you do is take them down into what we like to call the drama triangle, where now what happens is you're sitting there as the persecutor or the villain, and they just look at it and they're not going to respond to you. So 3 things you want to do. You want to stop. You want to challenge while you're feeling the way, and it's because what we talked about, right? You want to get them healthier, and then you're going to choose an outcome that works. So when that happens, probably not the best way to directly confront them. It's probably better to awaken them. You're setting a great model, and then show how you respond, how it's working for you. And remember, rather than choosing something which is your emotion of anger, even if you're feeling it, let that emotion go through. It takes about 90 seconds for emotion to fill its way all the way through the feeling. So let that emotion go somewhere. Don't interact with them, because if you do, you're just going to pull it down below the line and you're going to get into a fight. And it's not going to be helpful. In fact, they're going to start saying more and more, Natasha, God, my mom is a pain in the butt, or my wife is a pain in the butt. That is not what's going to help you, right? So show how cool you are and how you're growing and learning by stopping, challenging. And then if you have to, one of the things I do if I'm in a big meeting with a corporation or and there's something that, kind of gets me wanting to get upset, what I do is I take my water, usually it's a water bottle, I'll open it up, I'll take a real big drink of water and I'll say, okay, there you go. And I'll say, take a deep breath, kind of recenter myself, and then choose and say, you know what? This person's saying something that's making me look like I'm ignorant, and I'd like to come across the table and kill him. But instead, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to just take a deep breath, smile, and then ask, what happened, what was missing, and what's next? Take the drama out of it, the emotion out of it, and look at it, how can I help them? And how you can help them first is set an example. Second is, because on the weekends, remember, you probably have the purse strings and probably buy most of the food. So subtly start changing the underlying structure. buy food that's healthier, stuff that tastes good, has lots of flavor. You know, make sure you're getting your kids, so they're eating, grabbing, put out a bowl of fruit, right? Good tasting fruit, things they like, you know, plums, you know, whatever they like, and basically make it easier to make good choices. And what you're doing is you're basically now creating what we call choice architecture, which is in the Habits Health Transformational System. And you're now making it easier to make good choices and harder to make bad choices. That's how you can intervene and do it without telling them what to do. Remember, share and care, don't tell and sell, and including what you say to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, thank you so much.
Cool. You're welcome.
You explained it to the T.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go over to Donna, and I think that Corinne is actually hanging out with Donna tonight. Are you guys there? I just unmuted you. Well, let's see if I can unmute you. You might have to unmute yourself. Coming soon, Donna. There she is. Hey, gang.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Dr. Ray.
So what question do you have for Dr. Ray today, Donna?
It's actually my husband.
Oh, husband of Donna?
How are you, Dr. A?
Well, I'm great.
Okay, I have a question for you. How do I lose body fat while still maintaining muscle? I'm trying to put on muscle and have, you know, kind of like the summertime, you want to just trim down a little bit, but I still don't want to lose my muscle.
Yeah, that's a what's your name?
Peter.
Peter, that's a great question. So what we know is this. We know as an adult, I mean, children can get away because first of all, they're usually leaner to begin with. Second of all, they go all day long. But for adults, it's almost impossible to reach your healthy weight, get rid of all your fat by exercise alone. So what's nice about our program, the 5-in-1, using it every 3 hours, you can actually get rid of the fat first, and then as the fat goes away, then you can increase your exercise program and do weight resistance training, you know, cardiovascular, work on your cardiovascular stamina, and do progressive, you know, more low weights, low weights, high repetitions, because you don't want to build a lot. How old are you?
Say it again?
How old are you?
Oh, 55.
Yeah, so you're in an age where you don't want to put bulk on, because bulk, it's very easy, like you said, in the off season. Remember, the central cells can go from muscle to fat. So what you're looking for is to be lean, productive muscle that consumes a lot of energy but doesn't create a lot of bulk. So you can use the program, the 5-in-1, to get rid of your extra fat, and then add a progressive low weight, high repetition program, which will help you create fast twitch, healthy muscles, which will keep you healthy.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's see. We got one more in here. I think we had one more. Maybe they took off on us. Looks like that they just vacated the premises. So let's go ahead and finish up with the presentation, Dr. A. And, you know, we're about to commence into the month of February, which is American Heart Month. And, you know, so many people have heart disease in lots of different ways. They have heart disease of the lifestyle-related disease, but then some people are just, they have a heart disease because they're working in a job they don't love, or they're just feeling like they want to have more community in their life. What can you share about the people that are right now that are maybe considering the idea of joining us as a client or as a coach in the month of February, and just talk about what it is that, in terms of the timing of OPTAVIA, how this could help them to accelerate their journey into getting healthier?
Yeah, no, I love that. And, you know, Heart Month could be an awareness, or it could actually be a decision. And so I'd love for people to make a decision that I'm going to get healthier. I'm decided. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to lose some weight. I want to be healthier. I want to be here for my kids, for my grandkids. You know, I heard that tonight. I love that. You know, I think that for most people, there's never a better time than right now to decide to get healthier. But with heart health, you know, important part to realize, you know, not only is it what we eat and that we become overweight, eating too many saturated fats, is sedentary lifestyle where we're not moving enough. The real big killer, and the one that causes heart disease probably more than all those others combined, is stress. It's emotional mismanagement. It's every day being so stressed out that you're really never present. You're never present for your kids. You're never present for your spouse. You're not present maybe even for your job. You're just grinding through in a survival mode. And when our body's in that survival mode, it releases all kinds of stress chemicals, neurochemistry, cortisol, and all those things switch on the bad genes. They bathe our genes. And especially if you have a tendency, for everybody, but if you especially have a tendency and a history of heart disease, you carry about 30% of that is determined by your genetics. So if you have a history, number one, you need to be really aware and it's time to go to work on it. Two, even if you don't have a history, know that by making these choices, building the habits health, joining the community, starting to eat healthier, you're going to dramatically change your cardiovascular health. But just as important, and Margaret touched on that, is your mental health. This is about, we're learning how to, just when I was talking to Natasha, being able to not get mad, not get frustrated. The world, you know, we seem to think, everybody thinks kind of the world should be a certain way. The world is the way the world is. What we're about is helping you now be able to make the adjustments so you can now thrive in the world and be able to take whatever life dishes out to you and put it in position through our community, through your coach, through the Habits Health system, learn to adapt so that you respond in a way that does not hurt your health, but actually adds to your health and to the health of the people around you. So Heart Health Month coming up. Let's go for it. Don't join us. What are you waiting for? We've got what it takes to help you get successful. And the nice thing is, you know, as Margaret talked about, and I talked a little bit about, when you're doing something you're passionate, most people go to work, they're paid just enough so they don't quit, and they work just hard enough so they don't get fired. That's not a passionate job. What a passionate job is when you love helping others, it's helping you, and now you're starting to be paid for the reward for bringing value to the marketplace. And by paying it forward, we have a bunch of fun doing it. Hopefully you guys have seen this tonight. We have not just the goodwill that comes from doing the work, but also leaving a legacy. You know, one of the key things as I ran intensive care unit, I found that people, when they're they're older and they're basically in their last years, the studies show that they want to have made a difference, whether it's in difference in a child's life or their community or helping others get healthy. And that's what we do at OPTAVIA. We're just getting started. We need a lot more coaches to join us. So think about, of course, we can help you physically, mentally, and in abundancy, help you improve your health, your well-being. But come think about joining us. Get with the coach that invited you on tonight and sit down and say, it sounds interesting. I don't know if I can do it or not, but let's explore it a little bit, David.
Yeah, well, for those of you that have a heart to get healthier physically, we'd love to have you join us and become a client or continue your journey. And if for those of you that want to have a healthier mind and want to pursue the habits of health in all aspects of your life, we'd ask that you reach back out to the person that invited you and ask them about how you can be a part of this amazing community and be taking advantage of this wonderful skill set and tool set that's available, that you can actually get health, get hope, and then you can actually get help by being a part of this community and having the community and the coach actually participating with you. And if you do have a heart for other people and you care about other people, consider the idea of becoming an OPTAVIA coach. Explore the opportunity and reach out to the person that invited you. So Dr. A, we thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy evening to join us tonight and for sharing health and hope with Americans and then beyond.
Well, you're welcome, David. And I have to tell you that this is what we do. This is what we do. This is what brings joy to us. This is how we're going to change the world.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.